Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 is an upcoming action-adventure game that is being developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by EA. The title is the follow-up to 2019 Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which was a massive hit and sold over 10 million copies worldwide. The rumors have already started to circulate around a sequel, so let's break down the potential release window, new hires for the company, and character rumors. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description down below, so make sure to check those out and support the original writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into everything we know about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2. So let's start by breaking down the ending of the first game, which was released, as I said, back in November of 2019. This will contain spoilers for the first game's ending and main plot if you haven't played it already. The story starts with a Jedi in training, Cal, as he works with a former Jedi Master, Sayer, to obtain a holocron, which can find all Force users in the universe, and Sayer wants Cal to use this to rebuild the Jedi Order after the events of Order 66. The holocron is taken by Sayer's former apprentice Trilla, and she returns it to an Imperial fortress. Cal then has to fight his way through the Imperial fortress until he reaches Trilla and pleads with her to let go of her anger and to join them again, and it almost works until Darth Vader joins the fray and kills Trilla, and her last words are to avenge us. Cal then escapes with Sayer and realizes that the holocron could easily fall back into the Empire's hands and they could find all Force users and they would be back at square one. So he destroys it so they can't use it to find other Force sensitive people, and the Empire can't use it either. And then he asks the team where they should go next. And I was a fan of this ending. I thought it closed up this game well enough, and I always thought the game was more about Cal's journey and never really about the holocron. And I really think that the holocron had to be destroyed to maintain canon in the Star Wars universe. Another reason I like the ending is so that Respawn isn't tied to continuing the holocron story and can instead go anywhere and do anything in the next title and won't just have to retread the same ground that this game covered. So it really gives the developers and writers more options when continuing the franchise. And almost immediately after the release of the first title, Respawn's brand strategy director, Charlie Hauser, spoke to Games Radar about how he would like to continue the Jedi Fallen Order story and would want to keep making games. The direct quote said, "We've had an absolute blast making Fallen Order. For a new team that's come together at Respawn, it's been a lot of learning to pull this off. Pending player reaction and feedback and how everyone's feeling about it, we would love to continue making awesome experiences and stories and keep telling that story in Star Wars." Right from the start, this was only a few weeks after the initial game was released. This is a great first step for a sequel. The studio itself has to be excited and willing to work on a sequel for them to get created. And I also think that they will continue telling Cal's story, and that's what he's mentioning when he says that story. And I don't think they would make the series an anthology, which is what a lot of rumors and people have been speculating. I don't think that's what they'll do. I think they'll continue to keep Cal as the main character and continue on from there. So now we have to jump from 2019 to February of 2020 when Jason Schreier, a notable gaming insider who was still at Kotaku at the time, gave an update on another EA Star Wars project that was going to be a spin-off from Battlefront. But at the very end of the article, he actually discussed Jedi Fallen Order 2 and actually said, quote, "Today EA has 2 new Star Wars games in development. One is a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order at Respawn." He continues on talking about another, but just at the bottom of this article in February, he confirmed that yes, we are getting a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order and work has already started at Respawn. So this happened in February, only 3 months after the first title was released, which must have meant that behind the scenes, EA and the higher-ups liked the direction this game was going and liked the results in terms of sale and player base. So they were able to greenlight it and move on, getting the next game out as quick as possible. Now, in response to Kotaku's article, another Star Wars insider, Bespin Bulletin, confirmed the rumors that Kotaku stated and also gave additional details that they have heard. The direct post said, quote, "Today, Kotaku revealed during an in-depth report of a canceled Star Wars Battlefront spin-off video game that Respawn are already working on a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order and that EA Motive are hard at work on a Star Wars game. The news here is that Jedi Fallen Order sequel I've been hearing about for weeks and was going to include in my recent EA Motive report but wanted more confirmation. The Kotaku article gives no other details, but I personally heard that the Jedi sequel will release in fall of 2020. In another post, he also continues on saying the game will not be called Jedi Fallen Order 2 and will instead be called Star Wars Jedi as the main title with then a different subtitle, so they will be removing Fallen Order and adding something else. And all of this isn't too surprising. Star Wars Jedi is a nice title. They need to keep Star Wars in there, and Jedi is a nice little thing to differentiate it from the other games, and changing the subtitles makes more sense depending on, as I said, the direction they take the story. Especially considering that they do want to make more than one game. And also, a 2022 fall release most likely means the game will be on next generation consoles only, so most likely for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and I don't see them developing for current gen and next gen consoles, so just be anticipating that as we continue on. Then during an EA Q4 2020 earnings call, Andrew Wilson, the CEO of the company, said, quote, "Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is one of the breakout titles over the last several years. More than 10 million unique players have joined the game since launch, a rare achievement for a first title in an entirely new franchise. It's a meticulously well-crafted game and it continues to give fans a deeply engaging and original Star Wars experience." Now, the reason the community has discussed this quote is the fact that he mentioned Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order as the first title in a new franchise, and franchise tends to mean normally more than one game itself or more than just one sequel, which means that at the very top, the CEO is supportive of the series and they will continue it into a franchise if fans continue to buy and play the games. Also, saying this is a franchise could allow the team to tell larger stories that tie all the games together without worrying about getting cancelled. Like including Darth Vader as a background character, he doesn't have to be included in every game's plot, but could play a smaller role and build up to a bigger conclusion, which Marvel has done with their villains, and we could see something similar to that. Main game stories and then background stories that build up to something larger. And then in May of 2020, job listings were found asking for a senior character artist, a level designer, and senior software engineer, one of which directly mentions being on a Star Wars team, and the others mention a third-person action-adventure game at Respawn, which definitely sounds like the next entry in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order franchise. Since then, 2 of the postings have been filled, but the senior software engineering position is still open. And for the most part, this just leads further to the fact that Respawn is still working on Star Wars, is still hiring new people to work on it, and they are actively working on this, filling positions and moving forward with production, which lines up with the rumors we have heard up to this point. And the last piece of information that fans have been discussing are the rumors that Ahsoka will show up in Jedi Fallen Order 2. Now, these rumors came from an IGN interview in May of 2020 with Cameron, who played Cal in Jedi Fallen Order, and Ashley Eckstein, who is Ahsoka's voice in all the animated series. Now, when asked about if Ahsoka will show up in Jedi Fallen Order 2, Ashley says that she has not recorded anything as of May, but she says it would be a cool way to connect the Clone Wars story to the Rebel story and fill in some of the time we aren't with Ahsoka. Cameron also said that Cal and Ahsoka share many of the same beliefs and would probably get along, so this is kind of where all the rumors came from of Ahsoka showing up in the game, even if it's just in a small role, and that the actors are up for it, and fans obviously want as much Ahsoka as they can get. And of course, like all Star Wars games and properties, the character rumors don't end there. Some fans also want Darth Maul, the Grand Inquisitor, Han Solo, or even Starkiller, and we could go on and on and on. They're all just fan speculation and what fans would like to see given the timeline we know, and which characters could be alive and could have a small appearance in this game. So what should we expect in 2021 and beyond? Well, a sequel is coming for Jedi Fallen Order. That's the first. It is confirmed with these rumors. And if the rumors are to be believed, the subtitle name will change and the game could release as soon as fall of 2022. The story will still follow Cal, and we could also see other fan favorite Star Wars characters returned or at least mentioned. The game also has been such a big success for EA that it has warranted a franchise, and Respawn has been hiring workers for another Star Wars project. If you're asking when we could see or hear more about the game wasn't shown off at the EA Play Live event this summer, and if it does release in 2022, then I wouldn't expect to hear anything until mid to late next year. I bet we could get a few mentions of the game in EA's upcoming earnings conference calls. The next one is in the next few weeks in November, so we might get a mention there if anyone on the call asks about it, if any shareholders want to know what's happening. So if you do follow those, you might get a mention or two there, but I wouldn't expect to see a trailer, teaser, or actual confirmation until later down the line, and at the earliest sometime next year. And for the most part, that is everything we know about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.